What's good, y'all? Welcome to Ready Tape. You already know what it is, man. It's been a while since I've been in the place, but hey, long time no see. I'm glad I'm able to be back for this 2023 season. It's only right we kick it off with fulfilling the quarterback position. I know people wanted to draft a guy. I know people wanted to keep Carr. I know people wanted to go after Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, these proven NFL talents, but we ended up getting a guy that's a veteran, that's familiar with Josh McDaniels, and we're going to talk about it in this video. So stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that like button, y'all. Hit the subscribe button as well. Appreciate y'all being here, and let's get into it. And like we said, we were trying to go after a quarterback, and we know we needed one, especially after departing from Derek Carr, who moved on to New Orleans. He's going to be playing for the Saints next season, which is going to be different because he'll be in the black and silver instead of the silver and black. So, speaking of the silver and black, y'all know what it is, man. Jimmy G is signed to a 3-year deal, $34 million guaranteed. And I believe it was, let me double check, $67.5 million over a 3-year contract. Now, I have heard those guaranteed numbers may be different, around 45 million, and that's a huge difference right there, 34 or 45 million. Now, speaking of the contract, you guys let me know if you think it is a good contract, and I'm gonna give my opinion on it as well, of course, in this video. And right off the bat, man, I gotta say, I'm not too mad at it. I'm not too mad at it. I think I'm gonna try to be optimistic about this one. Although I did not want to sign Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, make sure to follow me at Ready to Tape. But if you follow me on Instagram, you guys know I posted on my story all the time, and I said I don't want Jimmy G. I don't think that's the route I would want to take, especially with the options that we have. There was so many options on the table when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, keeping Derek Carr, going after a quarterback in the draft. But at the same time, Jimmy G or keeping Stidham, that was another option. There's more. But as far as getting Jimmy G, I'm not that too upset. And I'll tell you why. Because one, the contract doesn't seem too bad. If it's 34 million over 3 years, you could break that up, and that'll be around what, 11? It'll be like 11 million guaranteed per year. You could front load it. You could give them about 20 guaranteed this first year, and then the next season you give them about 15 million guaranteed. So you only have them for 2 years, and it's at basically two. Those 2 years would have been what Carr was for 1 year. So you look at it and you say, okay, we saved a lot of money there. But what are we going to do with the rest of the cap? What are we going to do with the rest of the moves that we have going forward in this offseason, going forward in the free agency into the draft? Because this kind of move kind of tells me that, one, we wanted to bring him in to have some stability at quarterback, but at the same time, I feel that as if it's more of a bridge type quarterback. You think about him being on the 49ers, he was playing, he had a rookie behind him. Rookie takes over, he comes back, he plays again. Last year, he threw for 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, about 2,300 yards in 10 games starting. Now, that's really not that bad when you think about it because that's a 4-to-1 ratio for a touchdown to interception ratio. And then you talk about the passing yards, he's on track for about 4,000 yards, maybe 3,800 to 4,000 yards. But at the same time, he's on track for about 28 touchdowns and what? 8 interceptions. So really, that's not as bad as when you think about paying Derek Carr and what Derek Carr is going to give us, because that's basically what he would give us year in and year out. Carr was about a 28 to Carr didn't really touch 30 touchdowns a season. So he was about a 25 to 29 touchdowns per year, and then about 8 to 13 interceptions per year. And he always got a lot of yards, though, about 4,000 to about 4,500 yards. So when you talk about Jimmy G, it's really not that far of a drop off when you talk about the quarterback stats. Now, the talent, there's a huge discrepancy in talent when you talk about Carr and Jimmy G because Carr was very accurate. We all knew this. But as far as the system and doing what Josh McDaniels wants to do at the quarterback position, wants to do on this offense in general, he just wants a guy that's going to throw the ball where it needs to be thrown. That's it. He doesn't want a guy that's going to go to the line and make a bunch of checks, change the play, and that's what Derek Carr is ultimately good at. Carr is able to control the offense by reading the defense and then dissecting it in that way. Jimmy G's not that guy, and Josh McDaniels doesn't want that kind of guy. But he got the guy he wanted in Jimmy Garoppolo, so that's why we're moving in that direction. That's just what it seems like to me because he's going to throw the ball where Josh McDaniels wants to go, and he knows the system, so it's a fast track. Now, what are we going to do the rest of this offseason? Are we going to build the defense? Ultimately, that's what I think we need to do is build the defense. Defensive tackle. Please get a defensive tackle. It would be a blessing in disguise. Not even in disguise, but it would be a blessing if Chandler Jones retired and we didn't have to pay him all that money. I don't see that happening, though, because Why would he miss out on $20 million guaranteed? I don't see him doing that at all. But it would be a blessing if he did retire, so that we could allocate that money somewhere else. We just seen Deron Payne signed to like a 4 year, $90 million contract. So now we're looking at what is a D tackle going to cost us, because now we missed out on that option. And I don't see us drafting Jalen Carter because he may not be available. Now, if he were available, I would love to go get him. Now, moving on, you have Tremaine Edmonds that could be signed as a linebacker. You have Poyer who could be signed as safety. There's plenty of guys. We just seen Jalen Ramsey get traded to the Dolphins for a third round pick and a tight end that's only had one catch in his career. So when you think about the fact that we need to build a defense and we haven't made any of those moves, but we go out and get Jimmy Garoppolo, that is very upsetting in my eyes. I think we need to start looking in the direction of the defense, and hopefully we do now that we have our quarterback locked in. But at the same time, don't be surprised if we still draft a quarterback in that first round to sit behind Jimmy G, just so we have that option. Y'all let me know what you guys think about this move that the Raiders made by signing Jimmy G to a 3 year, $65 million deal. Was it $35 million guaranteed? I think it was 67 or something like that. Y'all know the numbers. Y'all can just check it out, man. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, Raider Nation. I'm glad to be back in here making content again. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I appreciate y'all being here. Until next time, y'all, ready to take.